You live this life, I walk this road, and you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. Vow to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
What's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. What's going on, Fleece?
Oh man, I got some things I want to discuss.
All right.
You know, like dealing with being gay, answering some questions, even coming from me, what I think of the situation, you know, being truthful about it. You know, like for instance, questions like, once you gay, is you always gay? Can a person stop being gay? What does it take? You know, people like to know, is it possible that you can have a gay experience one time and never do it again? You know, like ladies now is out there with means that they question whether or not they done been involved in ever some gay stuff before. And does that make him gay if he's not doing it anymore? Is he still doing it? You know, I can answer them questions, you know, truthfully. And that's what I would like to do.
Okay.
And first of all,
make sure y'all go get the book on Amazon. Fleece is book 1 of a 3-book series. Who is Fleece Johnson?
You know, when you talk about being gay, people don't like to talk to people who ain't never been gay. You know, it's easy for somebody who never been gay to say, hey, that's not the type of life a person should live. It's nasty, it's this, it's that. But it is more understanding when it's coming from somebody that's being gay, to be able to answer gay questions, you know. So I done been gay, and I done been as gay, you know, that's the word.
What does that mean?
That means I done did it all, you know. I did it all, and I did it for a while. And at the time that I was doing it, I enjoyed it. And then came the time when, you know, in that lifestyle, there's a lot of jealousies, a lot of fighting, there's a lot of arguments. That lifestyle is no different from the normal lifestyle between man and woman. There's still a lot of arguments, still a lot of gossip, and all that stuff. But what changed me was the truth. If I don't stand for nothing, I stand for what's true. If it's true, it's true. Is there a God? Yeah, that's true. God told me one day, hey, you know it's a God. You ever seen him? I said, no. Do I got a mama? He said, everybody got a mama. I said, you ever seen her? You know, you don't have to see something to know it's true. But I found out the truth. That out of all the sins that people commit, the one sin.
And there's no sin greater than another, they say.
They right. But from there's one sin that I see a lot of desolation and punishment come upon throughout history. Is documented in books. You know, historians from all over the world got the same, you know, stuff. It's one sin though, we call great desolation. Drafts called famines cause a whole, this angle, it's like it's this angle of heaven. Is when men have sex with the same sex and women have sex with the same sex. And the truth of it is, I mean, you can see the truth just looking at your body, just how you was made. You know, I wasn't made to be a woman. You know, I could look down between my legs and see that. You know, I was a man. You know. Now, they say once you gay, you always gay. I don't believe that. Because I'm not. You know. And damn, you scared the shit out of me, man.
My fault.
Man, I was getting deep in this, man. Man, you got me right there, boy. Whoa, shit. Oh, God, man, you got me good, boy.
My fault, man.
Ooh, man, I was so deep, it's like I'm done, man. You hear me? You know? And I'm back.
Yeah, you good.
Woo, that was a scare right there. But like I said, though, and I can answer truthfully, no, it's not true. Once a person decides they want to stop doing something, they can stop it. I mean, it's a proven fact. You know, you don't have to go back to nothing. Ain't no such thing as an addiction. There's a such thing as being brainwashed to believe in addiction. You know. So, they got things that would cause you upset if you stop doing it, like I stopped smoking. You know, it'll take me a while to get used to it, but before that little while, I'll be having nervous problems and attitude problems, so to deal with. But the point of it is, being gay is something that I done been. It's something I don't want to be no more. And it's something that if I was to have a relationship with a woman, I have a responsibility to tell her about my life before I decide to have a life with her. Yeah, you know, you're supposed to tell people stuff and let them determine if whether or not they want a relationship with you or not, you know. And so I don't fault people on how they believe about gay people. I don't, it don't bother me, you know, if nobody in this world spoke to me. It won't hurt me one bit. It won't hurt me at all if no women wanted to be around me. If all women saw me as not man enough to be her man. See, that's just some of the consequences you live with when you do wrong out here in the streets. You know, consequences come with wrong. You know, like you got people out here that steal. Sooner or later, they're going to meet the consequence for that. You got the ones that cheat on each other. Sooner or later, the consequences is gonna come. The ones that argue us too much. The ones that do this, do that, do that. And some consequences is global. You got to deal with people all over the world. I just like when they put that stuff on me that I was gaping people. It caused people to look at me different. But when I proved them to be allowed, then it's still something that people like, yeah, man, you know, dude, cool, or whatever. Really, I don't care what you think of me. Now, about this being gay stuff, I can't sit out there and tell nobody the way you living is crap. Because really, if you was to really take notice of gay people, compare them, the gay men compared to the single men, there's no compare them. Like, which one of them work, they success, they achievements, did they graduate, do they obey the law, do they do honest living, do they have the community, do they have their own homes, house, do they own a business, what have they accumulated?
What you saying, gay men more successful?
Man, when you compare them to the single men, you'll see that the gay men got way more, done way more than the single men in all them areas.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, it is true. And not only that, the only thing they got against them is that they gay. That's really their only fault. They do everything else right. They real nice, real helpful, loving, kind, cheerful, workaholics, intelligent, smart, can take on any job, good friends, throw good parties, they own a lot, and they share. They just gay. And so, now the gay men, the men that ain't gay, straight men, back and forth, and the penitentiary is full of them when they come in as straight. You know, come in as straight, leave out as gay. You know, a lot of times. But the point is this. I see a whole lot of straight men ain't got nothing. No job, tip service, working at McDonald's. A lot of them ain't got nothing, homeless. You see homeless people, and you look out there, you ain't gonna see no gay ones, man. You gonna see straight men.
You ain't gonna see no gay ones.
I ain't never seen a gay homeless person. Never.
Maybe you just didn't know they were gay.
That too. But I tell you what though. I know that lifestyle that's not what God intended. I know it. I mean, it's just true. It's not what it's meant to be. How it came to be, I know a little about that too. But that's a little too deep to talk about. But I'm saying this to all the people out there. We know.
Hey, Fleece, I don't know if I ever asked you. Maybe I have. I can't remember. But when was the first time a man actually approached you?
In prison?
Yeah.
Man, it was at a time when I first went to prison. You know, I told you I was 16. And usually when you go to prison, see, prison is different from jail. when they bring you in prison, they won't cut your hair, spray bug spray on you, make sure you ain't got no lice or bugs, and you got inmates walking back and forth while you're in there being processed. And when they tell you to squat and spread your ass cheeks, inmates is walking back and forth, you bent over with both hands on your cheeks, got it spread it open. Motherfucker walk, you hear a motherfucker say, damn. And you raise up and look around, you see a bunch of inmates standing over there, and the guard said, turn around, lift your balls, and raise your arms up, you good. Then you wash off and all that. So I ain't think nothing about it. I'm on the yard now. So I go in the shower, and in this shower, there's about 50 inmates in this shower. All of them naked. Some of them's coming in behind me, pulling off their clothes. I kind of hesitated. I said...
And you 16 years old?
No, I was 17 at this time.
Okay, Eddyville.
Yeah. So I went on and came out of my underwear. I heard some whistling and stuff in there. People whistling. And yeah, oh my God, Jesus. I ain't know if they were talking to me or not, but they didn't start doing it until I walked around the wall and got in the shower. So I said, forget it, Long don't none of them touch me. They can say what they want, But it's a funny feeling. And then, about 2-3 months later, somebody walked past me and brushed up against me and said, excuse me. I felt this thing, man. I felt this thing. It was like hard. It hit my cheeks. I said, hold up. Do I got to go step to him? And you sit back and you wonder. I said, no, he probably did it by accident, really, but I felt it. He was hard. And so you start realizing you got all eyes on you, on your booty. And it ain't gonna stop. Everybody eyeing you, trying to be real nice to you, trying to be your friend, trying to get you to walk the loop with them. And they trying, you already know in your heart, they want your booty. You know this is what they want. They not gonna come out and say, look, I want your booty.
From talking to several ex-inmates, what makes them approach the people they approach? Because everybody don't get approached, do they?
Yeah, they all get approached.
Everybody gets approached.
They get approached.
So all the men that was in prison that said they've never been approached.
They've been approached.
What, they just didn't know it?
No, they know it. You got sisters. They make rounds. And you got to tell them, hey, look, I don't indulge, right?
You have to tell them that. They're
gonna inquire if you do. If they see you around me, hey, who's your friend? He's cute, does he? And that's your time to speak.
So you mean to tell me all the men that's told me that they've never been approached in prison
done told you a lie? They told you a lie. They all get approached. Everybody get approached with that. Somebody gonna approach you.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. And somebody gonna try to, it might be a sister. Most time that's what it is.
So do they, say for instance, they ask that guy's friend if he does that and they say no, then he'll never get approached with it, right?
Okay, now here's the question. You asked the miss. Ask them how many sisters do they know in prison?
They all know sissies.
Ask them their name. They'll tell you their names. How you know their name? You talk to them?
Because they'll say they did business with them or something.
Yeah.
Sold them something.
But if you did more than business. And if you think, what did y'all have to talk about, first of all? Who approached who? So you said you never been approached, so did you approach him or did he approach you first?
It was about drugs, so he never talked about that. It was just drugs.
They say whatever, but who approached who first? Did the sister approach you or did you approach them? And why would you want to remember his name?
But maybe the sissy didn't say anything disrespectful. It was just about drugs.
No, they ain't gonna come disrespectful. But if they come, they gonna ask. They gonna inquire if you mess around. And if you a cute looking man, yeah, they gonna want to try you. You mess around? No, I don't. No, baby, I don't. All right, and they never mess with you. You know, stuff like that. Unless certain ones say no. I want him. And they'll keep on, but it's hard.
They'll keep on after you tell them no, you don't mess around.
For a man, if you do business with him, you doing business with somebody with dope, you know you can get some free ass, get some head, don't nobody need to know about it. The sister is coming to you, look just like a woman, built like a woman. Got big old hips and ass, juicy lips, and you ain't had none in a while. When he walks up on you, I tell you, this is how they gonna greet the sister. Hey, baby. They gonna call him baby. Come do business with daddy. Next thing you know, they doing it. Don't nobody know. They get out on the streets. I ain't never been approached by nobody. Ain't nobody ever did this. Everybody get approached. Yeah. Somebody gonna give you the eye. You gonna have to tell them I ain't with it. Are you with it? I got approached many times. I got a little fat butt. A nice, big, little fat one. And you got me in a prison surrounded by nothing but freaks. You think they ain't gonna want that?
Well, maybe in the 70s and 80s, didn't it change?
Only thing that after the 90s and stuff, see in the 70s and 80s and 90s, it was all acceptable in prison. You can actually get married in prison.
Right.
But in the 2000s, a lot of protesters came out. So they started hiring a new administration, came out with new rules. Now, if they catch you in a sex act, they write you up, make you take an AIDS test, and call your family. Let your family know that you just got to having sex with another man.
Did you ever get caught?
No. One time. Yeah, I did. One time. One time in 40 years. And it was embarrassing. And I remember it was in the library. We went in the library and they had these bookshelves, always big, tall bookshelves. So they didn't have no camels in our den. So the guard that was in there, I don't like him because he's one of them guards like Bugs Bunny. He walks up on everything. You can't never catch him, he'll catch you. He just slick. So I ain't want to do nothing. So the person I was with wanted to have sex right there in the library. So we get behind the bookshelf, looking out. And we start doing it. We end up on the floor. He walked right up on us and said, He said, "No, just stay as you are." He said, "I gotta take a picture of this." And ain't nobody gonna stand there and let you take no picture, man. You a freak. And it's embarrassing because when you go to in front of the committee, they had two ladies sitting on the committee. So you sitting back in the chair, they say, "State your name before the committee." Fleece Johnson, 82068, and you are represented by your league aide. My league aide will say his name. Aldine Henderson, 111225-6. They said, "Mr. Johnson, you've been charged with inappropriate sexual conduct. How you plead?" Now, how can I say not guilty? You know, they caught me right in the act, you know? And he didn't get a picture of the actual act, but he got a picture of us being naked. So, she said, "How you plead?" I said, now I'm looking in the eyes of two women. Fine, two women. And they looking at me like it was curiosity. "How you plead?" I said, "Not guilty." She raised up in her chair like that. She said, "Mr. Johnson, you was caught right in a sexual act. And we have photos. The committee might show some leniency, but we want you to tell the truth. So let me ask you one more time. You've been charged with inappropriate sexual misconduct. How you plead, Mr. Johnson?" "Not guilty." She said, "Well, let us read the write-up to you. On the above date and time, our officer so-and-so was working in the library as library security. Upon hearing some noise, I got up out of my chair and walked around the books, and I walked up on Mr. Johnson and inmate Will in an inappropriate sexual act. Mr. Johnson was laying on the floor with his legs thrown back while Mr. Will was on top of him.
Hold on. You was the...
Yeah, that's what the write-up read. And no, it's bro. Yeah, it's funny. No, it ain't funny. It's stupid. Cause here's what came back. This is a lady reading me the right.
That's more.
And I said, "No, man, I'm embarrassed." She said, and he said, when I hollered, "Stop," Mr. Will backed up at him. Mr. Johnson looked like with a tree log. I said, "What'd he say?" She said, he said it looked like a tree log was pulled out of you. I said, "He can kiss my, all that old stuff." This is Mr. Johnson. You don't have to go through all of that. I'm going to give you one more chance. Just be truthful.
Was you laying the dynamite then?
Was you Hey, look, let me answer one thing at a time. It's hard for me to even talk about this much, right? So she said, let me ask you one more time. You was caught in an inappropriate sexual act. How you plead? Guilty or not guilty? I said not guilty. She just stepped out. The committee would decide. I stepped out. I said, man, I'm gonna file a lawsuit on him. So my legal aid, he said, for what? No, dude gonna say I was, dude looked like he pulled a tree log out of me. And all this old stuff. And they sat there, man, talking about, no, man, I ain't going for that. He said, man, look, did it happen? When he said that, I spit on him and headbutted him. I said, get out of here, punk. You know. So the officers went in there and said, Mr. Johnson gonna have to be taken back to his cell. He just got through spitting on his lawyer and all of this. And we got to immediately subdue him. I said, don't put your hands on me. And you better not find me guilty. And the lieutenant came by my cell. He said, your legal aid don't want to press no charges. You spit on him and headbutted him. I mean, we could. We gonna drop it. Pack your stuff, you getting out. I said, out of what? He said, out of the hole. I said, what you mean? He said they dismissed the write-off. I said they dismissed it. He said, yeah. He said, won't you go back out there and be with your friend? So on my way out, I seen the lady they dismissed the write-off. She said, Mr. Johnson, come over here. She said, if you're ashamed of what you did, you don't need to be doing it. She said, now you take that with you. If you're ashamed of what you're doing, then you know you're doing something wrong and you need to stop doing it. Have a good day, Mr. Johnson. I walked away. There he was. He was out there waiting. Said, you know, he's sorry, wish, you know, he had a little patience. And said, what you getting ready to do? I said, I'm going to go take a shower. He said, I'm going to take one too. We took a shower. And went back doing the same thing. Didn't get caught though.
Was you Linda Dynamite?
No, not then. I was just doing stuff. You know, sooner or later, it's like I've seen men's in our when I became gay in prison. What made me stop is it was too many men, black men. Too many of them. That I expected to be straight, but they was gay. With me, in my case, I ain't got nothing nobody to answer to. I ain't married, ain't got no girlfriend, ain't got no family, ain't got no kids, never had kids. So, ain't got nobody writing me from the streets. So, I feel like My only responsibility was me. I can do what I want. I ain't got nobody to really answer to. But when I start seeing all these these black dudes come in, and they come in with these reputations and names and stuff, and they talked to me, and they knew I was gay, right? But they don't heard nothing but victory talk about me and my battles, all the battles I fought. And I was somebody they wanted to meet. And so next thing you know, I started seeing them with sisters. So I pulled up on them. What's up, bruh? Hey, what's up, Fleece? I said, who's that? Oh, it's my baby. Now he got no baby. Now I already know what type of sissy he got too. He got the type of sissy. A man gonna have to kiss him, suck him, eat his butt, all that stuff. He's one of them type. If you can't do all that, he don't even want you. You ain't going up in him. You ain't doing none of that. He don't just have free sex. You gonna pay for him. So he got one of the most expensive sissies in there. And he got a hell of a name, reputation.
And he was a gangster.
Yeah, in Louisville, man. He had all the girls in Louisville. All the cars, the money, the dope, all that. Shooting up all the neighborhoods. You know, he came with a reputation. But next thing you know, about 6 months later, he's a drinker. 2, 3 sisters was talking about how he, drank them. He got caught up in it. They put their worm in his mouth. Turned him out. But I seen him on the streets about a month ago, and out of here being a gangster again. What's up, police? My nigga. How you doing out here? I said, I'm doing all right. Yeah, man, I'm glad you out, man. Shit. I said, shit, you doing good? Oh, man, you know what, man. It's ride or die, pimp or die, man. It's me, man, whole money on the side. He had 3 girls in the car. None of them know that in prison, he done sucked up all the sisters. Sucked them. Sucked their thing. He gets drunk off of that. I seen him in there one day, man. People actually get drunk in prison off of cum. And you be sitting down, man, in your business, man, just trying to enjoy a peaceful day, You went to the store, brought you a cheeseburger, and you can go to the canteen, get you a cheeseburger, put it in the microwave, heat it up, go get you a pop, a little pint of ice cream, go, a bag of chips. Go sit out. Look over the wall and see the river, because Eddyville is surrounded by water. And be just minding your business. And here come some of these thirsty dudes, bro. They walk the yard every day thirsty, want somebody to suck. What's up, Fleece? I said, what's up, man? Man, if I come over, I said, yeah, I do. Keep walking. I already know what they're going to do. But one day, this white one, Angie. Hey, Fleece. I said, hey, baby, what's up? Can I come over? Yeah, come on, sit down. How you doing today? Tired of these niggas. I said, ooh. Yeah, that's what I call them. Whoop my white ass, nigga. Yeah, that nigga want me up. Said that nigga just, all he want to do is eat me up. I said, eat you up. Said, yeah, I'm looking for a man that can, pump my butt. I ain't looking for no girl. I'm looking for a real man. And all these niggas in here, all they want to do is eat you up. I said, oh, is that right? He said, yeah. I said, you want something to eat? Brought him a cheeseburger and stuff. And we sat out there and talked. I get information from people and on everybody. So that's how I learned so much about what's going on. And I see these people on the street. I seen a guy that used to eat my butt. Paid me. Hey, Fleece. I said, yeah. I give you $100. Let me eat your booty. I ain't got no money coming in. I said, yeah, man. That's all you gonna do too. I been over. He had me on my tiptoes. He knows how to eat it too. Turned around, jacked off, and shot it all in his face. He paid me $100. I seen time I took him up to $500. And these people here, they like it in prison, man. And so I seen him on the streets in Kroger. I'm gonna go shopping. Last person I want to see is somebody out of the penitentiary, right? And cause I ain't need all that stuff no more. And he had his woman with him and his kids. He said, Fleece. I said, Tim, what's up, man? He said, man, what's up? I heard you was out, man. You got some stuff on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, man, keep it real out here, though, bro. Oh, he said, this is my wife, Dorita. And she was fine, too, man. And he said, this is my son, Derek, and Jason. I said, how y'all doing, little man? Hi. But she don't know that how he is. And she was cute. She was cute. She had a dress on. She was dressed like what you can call a woman. But he ate my butt. $100. I took him up to $500 one day. I said, I laid in my bed last night and thought about you. My booty did. He said, your what? I said, my booty. Thought about you last night. I said, he said, you need 100? I said, no. I need 500. He said, no, baby, I can't do that. I said, all right. I said, boy, done got fat too, juicy. I'm going to shake it on you this time. I'm going to make you eat it good. And then, I'm going to shoot all over your face twice. He said, stop it, Fleece, stop it. I said, you still don't want it? Gave me 500. And then one guy, I never forget this one. This man had a wife that looked like Obama's wife, Michelle. Cute as a button, real intelligent, cooperative. She's a lawyer. And she been trying to get him out of prison and finally won his case in appeal. It was time for him, and they told him it was time to go. He was with me. He said he ain't going.
What?
Said he ain't going.
Shut up, man.
Yeah, he gonna leave. I said, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm not leaving you. I love you. I told you I love you. She's nothing to me. She's nothing to me. There's a woman got a house waiting on him, BMW, all this, fine as wine. Nigga, let her ask for me. I run up out of here. I would worship her.
Was any of this Linda Dynamite?
Yeah, then it was. I said, well, you know what? I said, I hate you. So, baby, please don't do, baby, please. Baby. Man, means in there were so weak in the penitentiary. You get to see their weakness when they locked up. Now out here in the streets, you don't get to see nothing but gunplay and all that old sharp talking. When they get to prison, where they ain't got no guns, no weapons, they on their own, and they in a cell with somebody that is gay, want gay sex. Somebody that most all the means in there, they work out every day. Push-ups, jumping jacks, lifting weights, boxing, very skilled. And their bodies is strong. And you just off the street, you know, smoking dope and all that stuff. And your body, you ain't been exercising, so you ain't got no strength in you. And when they lock you in the cell with them, and that door is made out of steel. This ain't no door you can run your hand through. I kick it down. It's a steel door. When that door is shut and you trapped in that little cell, and then dudes start talking crazy. Like I remember one time, they had a overcrowded problem in the hole at Eddyville. They locked up too many people. And they didn't want to let them out, make room for nobody new. So they told us, they made an announcement that we gonna get a cell partner.
In the hole?
Yeah. So they brought in 15 people and told them, said, find out who you can sell with and go in there. And they give them a mattress, they sleep on the floor. But the cell is made for just one person. So one dude looked up, he walked down the hall, looked up at me. He said, I found who I'm going to be in the with. So I'm standing up at the door, right? And I got on this little tight shit. So I guess that's what made him think, well, shoot. So he came up, he said, hey. I said, hi. They opened the door, he come in, put his mattress on the floor. I said, what they lock all y'all up for? So, you know, they tell y'all that, you know, it was a riot broke out, and over what? And I'm listening, this and that. He went over to the bathroom and used the bathroom. And then it's a shower night in the hole. So the girl come through the shower night. All you guys that come in today, you can take 1, 2 if you want it. So when they got to my cell, you know, the girl passed out the towels and stuff. So I wrapped the towel around me and pulled my underwears off and went to the shower. So I came back in my cell. It was his time to go out, you know, so he went out, came back in, and so he said, hey, can I use some of your lotion? I said, yeah. I'm still putting lotion on my feet and stuff, so he's standing up naked, rubbing lotion all over his body and stuff, you know. He had a little nice butt, too. I'm talking about it was nice. He said, you mind put some of this on my back? I'm already hard, you know. I already know what's getting ready to happen. This is going to be some sex up in there. So as soon as I stood up off the bed, I'm already hard. So I put some lotion on me and started rubbing it on his back and just pressed up. I put the head right there first, see what he's gonna do. He didn't move. Move a little more up in there. Then I said, I know he feels this. And then I said, let me put a little more on your neck. So I put some more. He handed me the lotion bottle. And then I took and put that lotion on my hand, rubbed it over his shoulders, and I pressed in a little more, then put it all the way. It was in it. it was in it. Boy, we had sex all night. We got done, it was like lunchtime, 12 in the afternoon when we stopped. So, this is what people get into in prison, sex, man. You know, that's the only thing that really gonna keep your sanity. I went through a whole lot of that stuff, you know. There was a time when I didn't do the gay stuff that, you know, your mind play tricks on you after a while in prison. Everything looked good to you. Any booty will look good. Any lady will look good. And I started seeing these guys that was masturbating on these ladies. I said, let me try this. I'm in the hole, and they got this guard tower can look right in my cell. So if I stand up on the bed, she'll come out of the guard tower with some binoculars and look right at me while I stand up there and masturbate. And she'll sit down in the chair and spread her legs real wide. And then if I get down and stop, she'll let me see her get ready to use it. She'll leave the door open where I can see her get ready to sit on the toilet. You know, she'll pull her pants down, bend over. Then I said, oh man, I went through that for years. Couldn't stop it. And one day, I got caught, and that was embarrassing. That's when I stopped. I was down the Grange, and I went up into the TV room, and they had a big old square table. So wasn't nobody coming. So I took a bottle of baby oil, climbed up on the table in this guard tower. This white lady, we've been doing this for a while. I climbed up on the table. She left the door open and pulled her stuff down, right? I'm standing up her stroking, right? And so I said, this is gonna be good. I had baby oil all over me, man. And so then she turned around and took her binoculars, you know, left the door open, and she was in there playing with herself, watching me. And then I do, you know, make a motion like bend over, I spread it. She put the knuckles down and spread her ass cheeks and all this. So, this sergeant was making rounds. I ain't even know it. Man, he hollered, you are out. Man, I jumped and slipped, and the baby oil bottle turned over. My buddy hit the table. I bounced off the table, hit the wall. I'm laying on the ground naked. Baby oil done dripped all over my head and face. I'm laying down there and I done come. Stuff is just shooting out everywhere. This nasty sergeant, instead of saying, I'm gonna take you to the hole and let you put your clothes and underwears or something on. I ain't to walk to the hole like that with all that oil and stuff on me.
In front of everybody.
Everybody said, oh my God. Hey, they can't do you like that, bruh. Damn, what is that on him? What is that? What he got on him? Oh my God, Fleece, what you done, man? I said, I ain't done, man. What is that on your body, man? I had baby oil everywhere, man. I had to walk up to the hole.
Damn.
Yeah. I used to do that. And before I stopped, though, down Eddyville, they had this big butt lady down there. And she used to always see me. She wore a dress and no panties. And you could see she ain't got panties because the dress would get caught between her buns. And she had some big buns, bro. Country. She said, walk with me, Fleece. I walked with her. So, we be talking. So when she talked to somebody else, I'm right in back of her. So I stick my hand down in my shorts and start, you know, masturbating. And then when she get through talking to him, I'll stop. I said, you ready to go down there? She said, yes. I almost calmed then. And then We go down the stairs, go into the library. She bent over that counter. That dress went between her crack. I said, this is it. I looked around, I couldn't stop this time. And when I shot it all down in that crack, right? She didn't, I didn't touch her. So I did this 3 times, man. Every time she called me to walk with her, I catch her with her back turned, I shoot all over the back of her dress. So this last day.
All right, you said the last day what?
Yeah, in the last day, I done squirted on the back of her dress 3 times. So the last day we was in the library, and she was over the library at this time, so wasn't nobody down there but us. And she wanted me to help her to replace some books, put some books in the boxes, pick up the boxes for her. And she bent over. And I'm right in back of her. I'm getting ready to drill her this time because she bent over, touching her toes. I'm getting ready to shoot all up in that crack. She told me, hey, Fleece. I said, yeah. She said, I'm tired of you ruining all my dresses. She said, you know what I'm talking about. If you're going to do it right. And she turned around and bent over. So I'm sitting there, I'm confused, right? If you touch one of these ladies in her and they scream rape, it's over. It's over, man. So she said, if you're going to do it right. So I'm sitting there like, damn, man. I said, man, please, bro. And my thing is hard, man. And I grabbed the bottom of her dress, lifted up over her waist. And like I said, she didn't have on no panties. And she raised up. I thought she was ready to flip out. And she walked over, bent back down, and her dress kind of flipped over her butt most of the way. She bent down, put some books right there, and was looking through them. I pulled the dress back up, parted her cheeks, man. It looked so good, man. I just dropped on my knees and started licking her butt, the booty, And then I sucked her down there, then I raised up, and she raised up, went to another spot, went around the corner. I said, man, when is she gonna stop? She bent over again. I bent back down and started eating her booty again. And then she raised up and went to another spot and bent over in the back, very back. And when she bent over, she spread them real, she cocked them back. Man, I said, man, put it straight up in her. All of this. We knocked down a bookshelf. I was pushing so hard, man. She was holding to the bookshelf and knocked the whole bookshelf over. I had to stand it back up. But man, I almost passed out. But check this out. About a week later, I see her again. I said, where you going? She said, I don't need you today. I said, okay. I stopped. She didn't want to do it no more.
It must not have been good to her.
Nah, it was good to her, but you got to catch these ladies. You got ladies working in prison. They got careers. Like this lady here went from a librarian to over all the churches, the church in Lord, and all the programs and clubs. She went over all of that to went up higher into the administration. She kept getting promoted. They was like, she's a woman for the job. Right?
Or was she getting promoted because she was doing these acts with people above her, you think?
Yeah, she was doing that too. Cause let me tell you about that. You talking about some horny people working in that prison. I seen the warden one day. We had a fight up there. It's one woman named Peggy I think it was Peggy Smith. Peggy something. Boy, she was fine. Built like a black girl. I mean, her booty was just up. She was rump. She had small breasts though, long hair. All the girls in there wanted her. So the warden, his name was Ashcraft. Ashley. Ashley. That was his name. He had an afro. Everybody said he had nigga in him, all that. But he was nasty. He was a nasty warden. And they were sending me back to the Grange for a psychological evaluation. I'm getting ready to go up for parole. They said I was crazy. So she came out of the office while I'm up there waiting on transfer people to come and get me. He came out right behind her. She had some papers in her hand. He grabbed her arm. She turned around and smacked him. Bam! I mean, man, his afro shook. I'm sitting over on the bench, so when I see that, I like that. He runs over. What the hell is he doing up here? What is he doing out there? You know what? Who you think you are, boy? As a matter of fact, you ain't going to your evaluation. I said, I got to go. They said, no, I cancel that. You going back to the goddamn hole. I said, I didn't come from the hole. I came from the yard. Well, you going to the hole. I said, for what? I stood up. He said, somebody give me a pair of handcuffs. I said, you know what? If I go to the hole, I'm going for a reason, right? So I said, you let her smack your face and you gonna get mad at me for that? He said, get over and turn around, face the wall. I said, pop. Stole him. Pop, pop. Grabbed my head, him in a headlock, man. About 4 guards jumped on top of me. Yeah. Ash. But them guards in there, they real jealous. They hate inmates because they be wanting relations. Most of them guards working in prisons ain't got wives. They ain't got wives and stuff. They come in there as single men. Most of them is single. You know, and the ladies that work there be looking good, man. And they be trying to get with them on lunch break and all that stuff. You know, making passes at them. But when they see that the inmate is able to get her, they go nuts. They go nuts in her. But I tell you what, though. The things you got to go through in prison to live a life, I feel like you living a life, you know. You gotta do what you gotta do. That's what I did.